I'm going to tell you a few things about writing a novel. Who here wants to write a novel someday? Okay. So, this is free. And if you haven't thought about writing a novel, maybe you actually do, but you don't really know it yet, but maybe you really do. Okay, what you need to do if you're going to write a novel, you need to have three things. You need to have a setting. This story needs to take place somewhere. If you're going to write a novel this November and you haven't thought of a setting at all, you might want to use a real place that you know about. Just an idea. For me, I'm a big daydreamer, so I always have different crazy things that I'm thinking of in my head. So I have tons of different places where I could set a story, but most people don't daydream all the time like I do. So if you're just starting out and you have no ideas in mind, you could just use somewhere you know, because that's easy to make it up in a place that you know. Second thing you need is characters. You cannot write a story without characters. Well, at least I don't think so. I'm not a good one anyways. You need at least one. You need at least a main character. You need at least one character. So, again, if you're just starting to write a novel and you haven't really thought of anything prior to this, since November is very soon, you might just want to use a character that has the same personality as you. Because then you'll know how that character will act and react in those situations. You can change your character's name, you can change how the character looks, you can even change your character's gender, but make the character sort of based on your personality. That way it will seem authentic, that character will seem authentic because they'll act just like you. For some of my first books, everybody in the whole book was just different versions of me because I couldn't put my head around how other people would act. So, like, all my main characters were all just different versions of me. I'm trying to branch out. The last book that I wrote, I tried to make some different personalities. I think I was able to do it. If you want to try to use a different personality, one good way to do it is to look at the personality types. So if you, I don't know if you've ever heard of the DICS personality types. Blank looks, maybe not. But if not, you can research online. There's different ways to categorize different personality types. But if you research about different personality types, it actually helps you to understand how different people react. And then you can sort of categorize your friends. Then you look at all your friends and you're like, okay, which personality type is that one, that one, that one, that one. Then you kind of get an idea of, okay, so this kind of personality acts in this way, and you can have some of your friends as reference for that. And then you can sort of use that in your story. See what I'm saying? Okay. Then the third thing that you need is a plot. At least a beginning and an ending. There's two kinds of novel writers. There's those who plan and those who just fly by the seat of their pants. So we call that the planners and the pantsers. So I'm typically mostly a pantser. The planners, they write a detailed outline with all their plot points and all the chapters and different plot points that happen in each chapter and go into lots of detail about their outline. And then the pantsers just wing it. But you need at least some kind of plot to start with. It's not really a great idea just to start writing randomly and not be going anywhere. It's a better idea to have a beginning, a good beginning that you feel like is a good beginning, and at least an ending. Because then you know where you're shooting for. So if you're just making up as you go along, at least you know what you're aiming for, like what your problem is and your resolving of that problem at the end. So you can sort of write to that. But, you know, lots of people really advocate planning, so I'm sure it has lots of merit too. All right, so if you want to write a novel in the month of November, which is a really awesome goal, everyone should totally try it, you can go to NaNoWriMo.org. That's the website, and you can make a username and password there and log on. And it's really awesome because you can enter some information for your author bio and your novel that you're going to write. And then you can update your word count. Every time after you write, you update your word count. So they have a little graph that shows you how much you've written and how far behind you are. Because you have to write 1,600 words a day to write a novel in the month of November. Yeah. But, you know, if you miss a day, then you just write, like, you know, 3,000 something the next day to catch up. Then you can get some writing buddies online. You just can choose some people, maybe some people, if you go to the forums and you go to where it says Manitoba Elsewhere, that's where people from our area will be chatting. And then you can just pick some of them and basically friend them on the NaNoWriMo site, and then they'll be your writing buddies. And if you go to the Manitoba Elsewhere forum, that's where you'll also find out about different events that will be happening for NaNoWriMo in the Steinbach area. For young writers, don't know if there are any here, but young writers get to write, set their own goal. They don't have to write 50,000 words. They can make up their own goal, and so they don't have to feel like they have to write as much as the adults. Young writers are 17 and under, and there's also a separate website for young writers where they can log on to.
Is your daughter doing that?
No. She's just going to do it at home because she's only 11. I'd say probably you'd want to be 13 and up for going online in a chat kind of forum like that. Personal mom choice. All right, and oh yes, if you're going to do this and you're on Facebook, you could join the Nano Word Warriors on Facebook. So that's Nano, N-A-N-O, Word Warriors. And that's a Facebook group. And what we do is we have word wars, and a word war is like you have 1 hour, everyone starts at the same time, you go like ready, set, go, and then you all type, and whoever types the most wins the word war. It's just for fun. It's something we do.